something extraordinary has just happened with Atlas. After months of anomalous behavior that defied every known law of physics, the most mysterious interstellar object in history has finally revealed what scientists have been desperately searching for: clear evidence of non-gravitational acceleration. This isn't just another strange measurement. This could be the smoking gun that proves we're dealing with technology rather than a natural object. On October 27th, 2025, NASA's Punch satellite constellation captured images that left the global scientific community stunned. Atlas was performing maneuvers that gravity alone cannot explain. The discovery that changes everything. According to David Farnovia, a navigation engineer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, new data shows that when Atlas passed extremely close to the Sun, it appeared to accelerate slightly faster than expected. The extra push is extremely small, microscopic by human standards. For comparison, it's like detecting that a car driving at highway speed is accelerating by the width of a human hair every hour. But here is what makes this discovery revolutionary. This level of precision in measurement now allows us to definitively confirm that Atlas is not following a purely gravitational trajectory. The impossible brightness surge. The non-gravitational acceleration isn't the only shock. Just before reaching perihelion, Atlas suddenly began to brighten at an unprecedented rate. Its brightness increased approximately in proportion to its distance from the Sun, raised to the power of 7.5. In simple terms, as Atlas approached the Sun, it became drastically brighter than any known model would ever predict. Such extreme brightening has never been seen in any comet within our solar system. This could mean one of two things. 1. Atlas is releasing massive amounts of gas and dust in an unusually powerful way. Or 2. Atlas has a chemical composition unlike anything we have ever seen before. One that reacts violently to solar radiation. A repeating pattern of anomalous behavior. What makes this even more intriguing is that Atlas showed this exact same behavior earlier when it approached Mars. At that time, it suddenly became brighter as it neared the planet. Now it is doing it again, showing another sharp, unexpected brightness surge before passing closest to the Sun. This repeating pattern strongly implies that we're not seeing random natural processes, but rather consistent, predictable behavior. Exactly the type of behavior you would expect from a controlled or engineered system. Atlas continues to display behaviors that simply should not exist in nature. Phenomena so bizarre, so contradictory to known cometary science, that researchers are now openly questioning whether this object is entirely natural. The anti-tail phenomenon. For an extended period, Atlas exhibited what's known as an anti-tail, a tenuous stream of dust that appeared to point toward the Sun rather than away from it. This is the exact opposite of how comets are expected to behave. Normally, solar radiation pressure causes a comet's tail to stream away from the Sun. But Atlas defied this rule. Even more strangely, just before perihelion, the anti-tail seemed to flip and transform into a normal tail, behaving like a traditional comet once again. This transitional behavior remains unexplained. Negative polarization. Another unprecedented anomaly was the strong negative polarization observed in the scattering of solar light around the object. This optical effect, which describes how light waves align after bouncing off a surface, has never been observed in any other comet, not even in known interstellar objects such as 2I Borisov. The polarization signature from Atlas suggests its surface or composition possesses optical properties, unlike anything found in nature. A protective envelope. Surrounding Atlas is a layered envelope of gas molecules, forming what appears to be a protective shell. This structural formation was completely unexpected. Traditional cometary outgassing produces chaotic, unstructured clouds of vapor and dust. But Atlas's envelope appears orderly and layered, perhaps even deliberately structured. Layered chemical composition. Chemical analyses reveal something even more complex. The inner core of Atlas is dominated by nickel, with almost no iron, a combination not typically found in natural objects and more reminiscent of industrial alloys. An intermediate layer surrounding the core is unusually rich in cyanide compounds, which are highly reactive and rarely seen in such concentrations. The outermost layer is dominated by carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, both volatile gases that escape easily under solar heat. Such precise layering suggests Atlas may not be a chaotic ball of frozen material, but something engineered, a structure with internal differentiation more akin to a spacecraft than a natural comet. Classified high-resolution images. On October 2, 2025, Atlas made its closest approach to Mars. During this event, the high-rise camera aboard NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured what many believe is the clearest and most detailed image of Atlas to date. Yet, strangely, NASA has not released these images to the public. The official reason given is a temporary government funding shutdown that impacted public-facing services. However, some within the scientific community believe there may be other motivations for the delay, or even suppression. Given the increasing number of anomalies and the directional connection to the famous WOW signal, many suspect the images may contain unsettling evidence that authorities are not yet ready to share. The WOW signal connection. Perhaps one of the most eerie coincidences in this entire saga is Atlas's direction of origin. When it first entered the solar system, it came from the Sagittarius constellation, the same region of the sky from which the famous and still unexplained WOW signal was detected in 1977. For decades, the WOW signal has remained the strongest candidate for a possible extraterrestrial transmission. The fact that Atlas originates from the exact same region has added fuel to the fire for those arguing this object may be technological in origin. Atlas is now moving away from the inner solar system and heading toward Jupiter. But before it fades into the darkness, it leaves behind a trail of unanswered questions, compelling evidence, and a growing sense of scientific unease. Third anomaly: size and speed contradiction. Atlas is over 1 million times more massive than Oumuamua and roughly 1,000 times larger than Borisov, yet it is moving faster than both. Large objects require enormous amounts of energy to accelerate. Natural ejection mechanisms normally give small objects high speeds, and large objects much lower velocities. Atlas is the opposite. It's like seeing a massive cargo ship moving faster than tiny speedboats. Fourth anomaly: perfect timing. Atlas arrived with almost perfect timing to make sequentially close passes near Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, while remaining nearly invisible from Earth during perihelion. The timing precision required for this sequence is astonishing. It would be like a tourist visiting 3 major world cities exactly during national holidays, while somehow avoiding every major security camera during their most critical moment. Fifth anomaly: industrial metal composition. Spectral analysis shows Atlas contains far more nickel than iron, a ratio common in industrial metal alloys produced on Earth. In natural stellar environments, iron is far more abundant than nickel due to stellar nucleosynthesis. Finding this specific ratio is like discovering a natural rock with the exact chemical composition of stainless steel. Sixth anomaly: extreme dryness. Normal comets are 80 and 90% water ice. Atlas contains only 4% water, making it drier than most Earth deserts. This level of dryness defies the very definition of a comet. The small amount of water present cannot explain Atlas's outgassing or brightness variations. It's like finding a snowball that is 96% rock, yet somehow still behaves as if it is melting. Seventh anomaly: impossible light polarization. Atlas displays a light polarization pattern that has never matched any known natural material. Every substance in the universe creates a specific polarization signature. Astronomers have cataloged these for decades. Atlas's signature matches none of them. It's like discovering a fingerprint that doesn't match any individual on Earth. Eighth anomaly. The WOW signal connection. Atlas arrived from nearly the exact region of sky where the famous 1977 WOW signal originated, a mysterious narrowband radio signal from the Sagittarius constellation broadcast at the hydrogen line frequency, widely considered the universal language for interstellar communication. After nearly half a century, Atlas appears to come from the same direction. It's like receiving a strange letter 50 years ago. And now, the sender suddenly appears at your front door. Ninth anomaly. An energy source hotter than our sun. Atlas appears visually bluer than our star, indicating an emission temperature that defies what should be physically possible for a cold object in space. The color blue in space has always carried meaning. It speaks of extreme energy, of intense heat, of temperatures that dwarf the human experience. And yet, today, we find ourselves confronting an object that reflects this impossible blue, not metaphorically, but literally, and forces us to question the very boundaries of physics. Atlas, the mysterious object now moving through our solar system, appears to be emitting or reflecting light that corresponds to temperatures exceeding 5,800 Kelvin, the approximate surface temperature of our own sun. That alone should be impossible. Cosmic dust, especially in comets, typically reflects light in the red or yellow spectrum, absorbing and re-emitting solar energy at far lower wavelengths. Surface temperatures of these bodies are cold, often hundreds of degrees below freezing, even when passing close to the sun. They are not supposed to glow bluer than a star. And yet, Atlas does. Beyond reflection, a hidden power source. So what could possibly explain this? The blue coloration suggests not just a reflection of solar energy, but the presence of an internal energy source, one capable of producing emissions hotter than stellar fusion. In other words, if Atlas is blue, it's not just because it's warm, it's blazing. And nothing in standard astrophysics can explain a comet with a core temperature higher than a star's surface. Naturally, scientists first turned to conventional models. The most accepted explanation for unusual motion in comets is outgassing, a process where solar heat vaporizes trapped ices beneath the surface, releasing jets of gas that act like tiny thrusters. This can cause deviations in the object's path, referred to as non-gravitational acceleration. But here's the twist. As Professor Avi Loeb has pointed out, if the outgassing is as powerful as needed to account for Atlas's movement, it would require rapid mass loss on a truly massive scale. And yet we don't see it. There's no matching debris cloud, no colossal jets of material escaping into space. No detectable plume of particles that matches the energy needed for the observed acceleration. Instead, we see precision, calculated, sustained motion, as if guided by something else. This has led some to consider a radical possibility. What if Atlas is not a natural object at all? The spacecraft hypothesis. Consider this. If Atlas were in fact a thin, lightweight, spacecraft-like structure, perhaps even a probe or fragment of an alien satellite, it could mimic the form of a comet while behaving entirely differently. Its structure may be engineered to reflect sunlight in specific frequencies, to produce thrust in unconventional ways, or even to cloak its true purpose beneath layers of dust and metal. Loeb has even proposed that Atlas may be similar to solar sails, theoretical or experimental spacecraft that rely on radiation pressure for propulsion, requiring neither fuel nor traditional engines. Such objects would not need to eject matter at all. Their movement would not be dictated by thermodynamics, but by intelligence, design, intention, and control. And if that's true, then Atlas isn't just another rock tumbling through the solar system. It's technology. Statistical impossibility. A lottery against the cosmos. Let's take a moment to reflect on the math. Each individual anomaly observed in Atlas, Its industrial metal composition, trajectory precision, reverse jetting, impossible blue brightness, dry interior, wow signal alignment, and more might, on its own, be extremely rare. But when you multiply the individual probabilities of each event occurring naturally, the result becomes astronomically unlikely. According to cumulative calculations, the odds of all these anomalies happening by chance is less than 1 in 10 quadrillion. That's 1 in 10,000, 1,000. To put that into perspective, you would have a better chance of winning the lottery 15 times in a row than of these cosmic coincidences, all happening naturally in a single object. Science is built on probability, and Atlas is breaking that framework. The observation window, now or never. And now we approach the most important moment in the story. In this current phase of its journey, Atlas is closer to Earth than ever before. For astronomers and researchers, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to gather data with unprecedented resolution and precision. The Hubble Space Telescope has already locked its gaze upon it. The James Webb Space Telescope, with its unmatched ability to analyze light spectra, will soon do the same. Ground-based telescopes across the globe are aligning for synchronized observation campaigns. These instruments are not just looking for dust trails or chemical signatures. They're searching for deliberate signals. Radio waves, optical pulses, unnatural spectral lines, unexpected emissions of heat, or even structured lights that could hint at engines or artificial behavior. In the coming weeks, the world's best equipment will be focused on a single goal: to determine whether we are witnessing nature or technology. The final path toward the outer solar system. After passing near Jupiter, Atlas will no longer remain visible for long. It will begin its slow, arcing journey outward, following a hyperbolic path that will eventually carry it to the outer edges of the solar system, and then beyond. That means this is it, our last and best chance to observe the object up close. And what's at stake is nothing less than the answer to one of humanity's oldest questions. Are we alone in the universe? With 9 statistically impossible anomalies now confirmed, and evidence of measurable non-gravitational acceleration without matching mass loss, Atlas is no longer just a curiosity. It may be our first direct contact, not with alien beings, but with alien technology. A moment, unlike any in human history. What makes this moment so powerful is that we're not relying on whispers from the past. We're not studying ancient carvings or radio signals from deep space. This time, we're watching in real time. A mysterious object has entered our solar system. It behaves like no known comet. It burns with a light too blue to be natural. It moves with precision that defies explanation. It may carry secrets from a civilization that lived, and perhaps still lives, far beyond our reach. And it is doing all this under our direct observation, not buried in history, not lost in signal noise, but unfolding in front of our eyes. If Atlas continues to accelerate in ways that can't be explained, or performs any maneuver inconsistent with gravity and solar pressure, or, most compellingly, emits a structured signal, then we will be present for the most important moment in human civilization. First contact. We may not speak to aliens. We may not see their faces. But we will know we are not alone. Stay tuned. The countdown has already begun. The instruments are pointed. The observations have started. The models are running. And the data is coming. In a matter of days or weeks, we may confirm that Atlas is the most exotic natural object ever discovered, or something entirely new to science, something that whispers across the void. We are not alone. So stay tuned. Watch the skies, share the data, question everything. Because what we are about to witness may not just rewrite astronomy, it may redefine what it means to be human,